to where Aziz Al-Shire was literally lunging with his forearm at Trevor Lawrence. Now, yes, it is hard for defensive players to stop on a dime when they're coming full speed. Yes, Lawrence, because of his height, it's kind of hard to see if he's giving himself early because of his height, but you cannot lunge like you're a launching pad at the quarterback, because in college they would call that targeting, and you're ejected. Bye bye, have a nice day. We'll see you next week after the first half. But that's here nor there. I mean, like I said, it's an unfortunate thing for Trevor Lawrence. I mean, as well know, the Jaguars were not exactly having the best season, considering that they were just 2 seasons ago. They were division champions, pulled off one of the best comebacks in playoff history, down 27-7 to the Inglewood Chargers. Of course, that was before Harbaugh got there, obviously. Brandon Staley was still running that show. And they just happened to just fall back down to earth, which now Duval will obviously have a coach opening. Who might take that job, we don't know. So obviously that remains to be seen. But it's an unfortunate situation. It really is unfortunate.
And then the fights in college football. I get rivalry. You know, I understand it. But one thing I will not allow you to do is plant your flag on my fucking field. I'm sorry. I'm not going to let you do it. Now, Baker Mayfield's dumbass decided to come out and say, oh, well, when Texas OU, they plant the flags all the fucking time. Yeah, you idiot. You didn't realize it's on a neutral fucking site?
That would be the Cotton Bowl, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
In Dallas, Tejas.
At Oklahoma or at DKR. It happens at the Cotton Bowl. That's a completely different scenario. Planting your flag on a neutral site after a victory over your rival is more than acceptable. Planting it through Baker Mayfield's jersey ups the ante on how acceptable it is.
There it is. I was waiting for it.
But Sark came out because the Texas was about to, I don't know if they were going to plant a flag, but they were definitely moving towards the logo. And Sark came out and said, hell to the fucking no. I've seen exactly what's been happening all day today. We are not about to get pepper sprayed on the goddamn field. Yes, people. No. Motherfuckers got pepper sprayed at Michigan, Ohio State.
Yeah.
Columbus. By the way, the balls that Michigan player had to go on a full interview and say they need to learn how to take their loss. Motherfuckers, y'all instigated it. What? You don't get to instigate the fight.
But here's my question.
Oh, hey, they need to take their loss. I'm not letting you plant your flag on my fucking field.
So here's my question. Now that is the 4th straight loss by Ohio State. Ryan Day is now 1-4 against the Maize and Blue. Now, he has had a very good record in Columbus. But as you know, so did John Cooper. But John Cooper got fired strictly because he could not beat Michigan.
And that's exactly the same thing that's going to happen today.
So you think Ryan Day is going to get the boot?
The hell yeah.
Okay.
They're going to say, OHIO-COS out the door.
So who's next in line to take over the Ohio State University if they do decide to go that route?
Shit. It really depends.
Mm-hmm.
It really depends. Are they going to go in-house? Are they going to try and, spend some money on somebody?
What'd you say, cuz?
Don't fire Ryan Day just because of that one.
Well, but I mean, here's the thing. When you hire somebody at an institution like Ohio State, or like Michigan, or like Georgia, or like Alabama, you are hired. It's like this. You can lose everything else, But if you're coaching Alabama, you better not lose the Iron Bowl to Auburn. You better not lose to War Eagle. If you're coaching Michigan, Ohio State, you better not lose to that team in that game. Or if it's,
because you also got to think of the repercussions. 9 times out of that out of 10 in those big rivalry games, it always comes down to because those teams are mostly in contention of getting
yes,
into the playoff.
yes,
So the
yes.
repercussions and the ramifications of that game are tenfold. So if you can't beat your rival, that means you're not making it to the playoff
Mm-hmm.
because your rival has that one game over you. What would be even worse is if they have a worse record than you and they beat you. Those are the real, shitty situations when you're expected to beat the crap out of them and they beat the shit out of you and then just ruin your hopes and dreams just because they can.
Like
You know, the
Syracuse did to Miami.
I mean, Miami's kicking themselves in the ass right now.
Mm-hmm.
Fully had a chance. Fully
Again,
had the chance. It was
but
theirs to lose.
but again, it's that loss to Georgia Tech that got them kicked out. Not necessarily the loss to Syracuse, but the loss to Georgia Tech, which almost cost my Bulldogs because they were down 17-0 at the half.
I mean, but you also got to look at what we have coming. Who would have thought? And I told EJ this is the reason why I love it. I really do like the 12-man playoff or the 12-team playoff
Mm-hmm.
because it gives the opportunity for out of nowhere teams.
Like the
Um,
SMUs.
oh yeah, I was gonna say, who the fuck would have thought we would be talking about SMU? Who the hell would have thought we would have been talking about either Tulane or fucking Army?
Army
Going
with a
going
Army with
forward.
a Army with a 10-1 record.
I,
Go
I said
figure.
Iowa State, Arizona State is hilarious because Arizona State used to be the punching bag of the Pac-12, while
Mm-hmm.
Iowa State used to be the punching bag of the Big 12. With the whole movement now both of them are in the Big 12 championship. I don't know what that
Mm-hmm.
means about the strength of the Big 12, but regardless, they're all in it.
No,
16 versus 15.
but it's insane because it's SMU's first year in the ACC.
Yep.
They're playing in the title game.
Yep.
It's Arizona State's first year in the Big 12. They're in the championship game.
Yep.
Considering that they were under some turmoil in Herm Edwards' tenure, and to turn it around that quickly,
Yep.
after all that, and possibly have a chance to get in the playoff, depending on who wins out of those two, which should be a very intriguing game because you don't think of those two particular teams being the cream of the crop in the Big 12, but nonetheless, here we are.
Georgia, Texas, the 5 and 2, and then Penn State, Oregon, 3 versus 1, and then Clemson, SMU, 17 versus 8.
But now, here's my rebuttal. We just stay slurping the elephants that is Alabama. A 3-loss Alabama team. Yet again, somehow, someway, end up number 11. I'm just like, at this point, I'm just like, why? And the thing is, Saban's not there anymore. And yet they still, because of the doggone name.
I don't understand it either. I've never understood it. It's like you've got all these teams who are way more deserving to get in, and
That's a very exotic picture of Ariel. That's Ariel from The Little Mermaid.
yeah, I don't know what that is, but
I definitely think that's the peace sign. A very colorful peace sign.
Yeah, I couldn't see what that was. It just had a bunch of
Yes,
numbers and shit on there.
no, it's the peace sign, and yes, it is a mermaid. No, it's a nice mermaid.
I got it. So I mean, here we got the rankings. You got Oregon, Texas, Penn State, Notre Dame. Which Notre Dame needs to sack the fuck up and join the goddamn conference already.
Well, they're sort of kind of in the ACC per se.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, I said sort of kind of.
They need to have the same stakes as everybody else does because they're essentially getting a free ride into the playoff without having to worry about their spot being taken.
So, what conference would they fit in? What would be the perfect conference for the University of Notre Dame and Touchdown Jesus would fit them?
You said they play who? The ACC most of the time?
Yeah,
You could give them ACC or you can give them the Big 12.
really? Not the
I,
Big
I
Ten?
think I think they would rather well Big 10 would be ideal,
Yeah, because I mean
but
they're in the state of Indiana.
yeah, but they are gonna want to do the easier route. They're gonna want to still have the same success, and Big 12 is the easier route to be able to get to those because it's a weaker conference comparatively.
Interesting.
I don't think
Interesting
I
take.
don't think Notre Dame really has the gall to want to actually legitimately compete. And I think that's why they haven't done. They're like, oh, it's been tradition. No, fuck that. You're scared. You're scared. You're scared of joining a conference because you know that there's a good possibility that you can get fucked in that entire. And you've been cupcaking your schedule with the ACC this entire goddamn time to where you've been sneaking into these situations where you don't necessarily deserve. And every time they get into these situations, what ends up happening? They get their fucking ass kicked every time they play a legitimate team.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that.
You know, so it's a smokescreen. It's a farce. It's illegitimate. They need to fucking join a conference and stop being, you know, a bitch about it. Get your asses in there and let's move. Let's do this the right way. Georgia, then they got Tennessee, Ohio State, SMU, Indiana, Boise State, Alabama, Arizona State, South Carolina, Miami at 14, Ole
Now,
Miss, Iowa State, BYU, Clemson,
now are you doing
UNLV,
now? Is this
Colorado.
the AP poll, or the coaches poll?
This one that I'm reading now is the AP poll.
AP poll, okay.
The coaches poll, there's really not much difference other than flipping Ohio State, Tennessee, and well, the fact that so from 11 to 15, they got like Alabama for AP. It's Alabama, Arizona State, South Carolina, Miami, Ole Miss. For the coaches poll, it's Alabama, Miami, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Arizona State. So there's a lot flipped on that. But then after that, it's mostly the same. Missouri and coaches poll is 19, and AP they're 22. Other than that, not much of a change.
Oh boy, number one in the nation has gotten upset by the Creighton Blue Jays. The Creighton Blue Jays just down the Kansas Jayhawks, 76-63.
Oh, well, damn, already got problems.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Oh, shit. I mean, that's, I think college basketball is more exciting.
And right now, number two Auburn is losing to Duke, much to the chagrin of my co-host, Mr. Mizzle. It is 54-42 Duke.
He is not having a good year at all.
No, well, considering Well, considering that his beloved Tar Heels got shellacked by Alabama tonight, 94-79. Um, but,
Whooped
yeah. So,
ass.
nah.
Whoop. Belt to ass.
Yeah. Boots to ass, indeed.
It's not looking good. Watch the season, Dub. It's over. Niners, we're done. Done. No need to try anymore. Look where trying got us.
I didn't want them to try. I just said they were going to because they still think they can win the division. That's what I said. And then when
Well,
and again, you've been saying it all year. I've been saying it all year. Mizzle has been saying it all year. Why are you playing McCaffrey in the first place? For who? For what? Why? Like, like no, like no, 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 no. And then I was begging for Jordan Mason to get more playing time. And then Jordan Mason showed you what he can do. Then I said, you know what? Let the other kid get some playing Isaac Garindo. You see what he can do. Then, of course, McCaffrey comes back. What happens? Of course, they phrase him out the offense. And then McCaffrey looks like he just got shot in his leg and looks like Kevin Durant in the 2019 NBA Finals again. And not only that, just to add more insult to injury, now Jordan Mason's on IR with the shoulder. So now you're forced to play Isaac Garindo, to which you should have incorporated him in the first place, which now had to make you go claim a fifth-round draft pick running back that was drafted by the Jets. To which all you had to do was just utilize the two-headed monster at running back with Isaac Garindo and Jordan Mason. Because at one point in time during the season, Jordan Mason was leading the NFL in rushing. And now his season might be over. So you should be able to beat the Bears. You might be lucky if you get to 8 wins. Eight wins seems feasible.
nah.
Hopefully you'll stay in the top 10.
No need
To
to
which,
watch it.
Well-
8 wins? 8 wins, you'll be out of the top 15.
well, let's see where they're at right now. As I'm getting
Right now, I think they're in the top 10.
Okay, so right now, if we are looking at the draft order right now in the NFL, right now, Jacksonville's on the clock. They probably will trade all that pick
You think
to
so?
somebody. Well, I mean, yeah. I don't think they're drafting. I don't think they're gonna. I think their sunshine can still grow depending on who the head coach is. So Jaguars on the clock at 1, Raiders at 2, the East Rutherford Giants at 3, Patriots at 4, Panthers at 5, the dysfunction that is the East Rutherford Jets at 6, Tennessee Titans 7, the Ohio's, Cleveland and Cincinnati 8 and 9. Number 10 is New Orleans. Number 11 is Chicago. 12 Miami. 13 is the Arlington Cowboys. We are currently at 14th.
14th. Yeah,
14th.
no, we need to stop playing around. Just stop playing. Just watch it. It's all good. Let's get our third, fourth stringer guys in there. Let's add a couple practice squad dudes to the to the roster. Get them some love. Maybe a little bit of extra paycheck never hurt nobody.
Well,
A nice little bonus for their efforts, and
well,
we'll
I
see
will
what
say
happens next year.
this. The left side of the line, earlier in the game against the Bills, was actually doing very well in the run game, and that was Jalen Moore, and I forgot who number 78 is, but he was actually, those two particular gentlemen were actually playing well in the run game, and I know why they went away from it, because B Rabbit's the head coach. So let me stop myself from saying why I don't know, which I know exactly why that happened. It was Jalen Moore, and I think it was Nick Zakali that was the left side and actually did pretty good. And then of course the right side was McKivitz and Pooney, which again Pooney has been perhaps the best bright spot out of this whole entire offensive line this whole season.
Yep.
Which again, give me a center, give me a right tackle, and let's go from there. Because I've been over Colton McKivitz. I'm done with Colton McKivitz. I've been
Yep.
done with Colton McKivitz.
Get him out.
I mean, heck, I'd rather them have kept Daniel Brunskill than Colton McKivitz.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah,
disgusting.
Yeah. That's how bad it is, folks.
Yeah. It's just I don't get it. I don't understand. It can't be that difficult if we're thinking about it. If we're thinking about it, if we're pointing it out that this needs to be done, it cannot be that difficult. There's no way you can't be so up your own fucking ass
Oh, they can. They can.
to where you literally cannot see in front of you
Mm-hmm.
what it is that you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
His ego is going to be the death of him. He will have no championships because of his way of thinking. That it's just beyond frustrating at this point. You
Do
have
you
all
think
the talent in the world. You have all the stuff that you could possibly need, all the firepower, all the pull that you could possibly need with the team. And yet, you are okay with being number 2 or number 3. You are
Do you
more than satisfied with being just good enough to get there.
do you think it now has come to the point where, you know what, maybe Kyle needs to actually have a coordinator and let somebody else call the play so he can actually coach? Now I know
I
his
think
ego won't allow it, but I'm just saying from a football standpoint, I think maybe it's time to where Kyle actually needs to pay attention to what's going on the field instead of trying to be up in this play sheet calling plays. Maybe I think he needs to have somebody call his plays for him.
I think Jed York needs to get off his fucking ass and tell him what needs to be done. And I agree with you, the fact that he needs to let go of some of the reins. Be able to dictate and call it and everything else like that the way it needs to be called, but have enough trust in somebody to be able to call the plays.
Mm-hmm.
Because you need to focus on other shit. You know, that you can only focus on so much when offense is your primary focus. You're so deep in wanting to prove everybody that you're a genius to where it completely shades your logic.
I'm sorry, I don't see Bill Walsh. Where'd he go? Where's Bill? Don't see him.
Yeah, it's a modern version, really, of the West Coast offense. That's really all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Still primarily based off the zone run.
Yeah.
But just modernized with a bunch of motions and the ability to run RPO out of it at times when you need to.
Well, the funny thing is, his offense still works. It's just now everybody else that is running it is executing it better than he is. But the offense still works. It's just now they figured out when he runs because there's nothing there's nothing explosive. And granted, again, they have figured out the jet sweep with Tyshawn Raekwon Samuel because he's not played like Debo at all.
No.
So I don't need to see the jet sweep with him no more because he can't break containment anymore. Um, I would like for them to possibly get Ricky Pierce more involved in the offense, um, because they need to. Jawan Jennings has really been your number one receiver all year long. I don't understand why George Kittle only had 2 targets when this game in Orchard Park could have been a huge George Kittle type of game to where you could utilize him and feed the ball, because in a game playing like that in the snow, it favors the offensive players because they're running straight lines and the defense is twisting and turning and slipping, which you saw a lot of that on Sunday in Orchard Park. But I don't know nothing. I just co-host a podcast and am a recurring guest on another, but I know nothing.
Kyle, he's forcing things. He's forcing things when he doesn't need to, and that's where the problem lies. He's there's simple solutions to his problems. There go back to the basics solutions to his problems, but yet he wants to be known as the guy who outthinks the other, even if that's a detriment to him and his team. He's willing to he's willing to take a chance on a 90-10 swing going the other way.
Well, I am glad that he finally admitted that we're not as good as we have been in years past. It took him long enough to finally admit that, but I'm glad he finally admitted that. Again, took a while, but
No shit, Kyle.
well,
Fucking kidding me?
Well, I mean, again, if your fan
Think
base
you're
can see
week
it,
13 to know that shit?
if your fan base can see it, I'm not understanding why you're just now all of a sudden
No,
seeing
I don't even, and that's where the problem is. If you're saying the fan base, you're only talking about you and me when it comes to who's seen it.
it. Well, no.
Seems to
Well,
be
there's some.
everybody else who's got this false flag fucking delusion right in front of their goddamn eyes.
No. There's some other fans that you and I know very well that pretty much agree with what we're saying. Basically, just
True, that's also true. Got to give them credit as well, but it's a very very fucking low number.
it's a short list, but they definitely know, like, okay, let's just go on to 2025. Let's try to get the right people in here, and try to just do what we can.
Yeah, it's right now the way everything looks. It's just you need to reboot, refresh. You just kind of look at this as all right. Well, we can learn from this season. We're definitely not going to get anything from it. We've lost literally everybody. There's no point in even unless Kyle wants to be that. Look, I coached even the third stringers to a Super Bowl. Like that, if that's what he's looking for, then it's just what, fine, fine. Be that Pittsburgh team who just sits in the middle of fucking mediocre land the entire time. You have a 500 or just above 500 record, but you're not fucking going anywhere, and you're not low enough in the draft to get anybody any good. So you're just kind of sitting at mediocrity the entire time. So go ahead and be that team if you want to. Go ahead and be that team, Kyle. You want to sit there when the chips are down on the line. You go ahead and choke. You want to be known as the choke artist. Hey, be my guest. Be known as the choke artist. Last time I checked, they don't put choke artists in the fucking Hall of Fame, regardless of how much they call you a genius. You ain't that much of a genius. Cause where's your rings, Kyle? Yeah, nothing, Kyle. You can call yourself a genius all you want to. Even crazy people call themselves smart. Like, just sick of this shit. Easy, easy solutions to the problems.
Like I said, where's Bill Walsh? Because that's the only person I know that was actually called the genius.
Bill Walsh, God rest his soul, if he were alive to see this today, he'd turn his back out pissed and how stupid it looks. He's looking at Kyle going, you got to be kidding me. You've come from winning loins, Super Bowl winning loins.
Yes, your daddy.
You got to watch that. You got to be a part of that. You got to see that. And yet, I want to do my own thing, Dad. You don't want to win Super Bowls? Ah, I want
just
to
want
be
to blow
known
10.
as one of the
I
most
want to blow
innovative coaches of all time to not win a
and,
ring.
and blow 10-point leads.
So what I like doing, blowing double-digit leads. You know what, Dad?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to be like you. You know what I want to be known for? 28-3. That's what I want to be known for. Forever and ever for the rest of my life.
Oh,
28
you
to 3.
went there.
28
Oh
to 3
God.
is what I want to be known for the rest of my life.
Oh, you went there. Oh, baby. Oh, oh the
Fucking
wounds.
scrub. And this is why I think he should be on the hot seat. People don't agree with me on that because, oh, he's getting you to NFC championship games. Yeah, that's fine. That's it. That's all he's doing. There's no rings being hung up. There's no banners being put up. None of that shit. Nothing but heartbreak. That's it. That's all it is.
Yes,
And
fans.
if y'all are content with that, then you need to figure out and find another fucking team.
No, I am not. I am not content with it with just a conference championship ring. That's not what we base ourselves on here with this organization. It's the Super Bowl ring or nothing. Well, that was the standard under Bill Walsh and George Seifert. Now, this particular ownership under Jed, Dr. John, and Denise, I can't speak for them. But I know under Eddie D, the standard was that shiny silver thing called Lombardi Trophy. That was the standard.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's amazing because this franchise was the first to win 5. Then the Cowboys joined us, and then we were stuck at the table just us for years. And then here comes the damn Patriots, and then the Steelers win 2 more, and now.
But we were the only team to have 5 Super Bowls but no losses. We were the only ones.
Yes.
And
then Jim Harbaugh decides I don't want to give my Hall of Fame running back the ball at the 5-yard line. Instead, no. Let's keep on throwing to Michael Crabtree, even though I have a Randy Moss that can jump ball it. Even though I have Randy Davis that can jump ball it. Even though I have a Hall of Fame running back called the Inconvenient Truth. But no, I'd rather throw it to Michael Crabtree. For who? For what?
And then Kyle, twice, to the same team.
Yes.
By the same amount of points.
Yes.
That's what y'all are content with. That's what some of y'all are content with. That's what you guys are okay with. As long as he's getting you to the point where you cry that you lost another one.
But yet, and still, you didn't want to change protections and block Chris Jones. You want to give Chris Jones a free lane to Brock Purdy because you had Juwan Jennings and Brandon Ayuk coming open in the end zone. But no, you don't want to block number 95 in red. Explain to me how that makes sense.
I'm losing my fucking mind. I'm losing my fucking mind talking about this team. It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. You know what? Hey, I think some teams really should allow people who talk shit about the teams and their decisions, give them an opportunity to back up their fucking talk. I really wish they would. I really wish they would. Because I guarantee you right now, I guarantee you right fucking now, you replace me with Kyle Shanahan, we have 3 fucking rings right now.
Oh
I promise you. Because at least what I've been able to do on this show, what we have collectively have been able to do on this show, has been able to have enough of a feel of the game and what we see to be able to have called out all the shit that's been going on in the NFL this year and years past. You can go back to all of the episodes we have been right damn near 95 fucking percent of the time of everything we've talked about. Long run shit, short term shit, Mizzle and Dub have been damn near 95% right with all of the shit that they have talked about. Why? Because there's a feel for the game. You don't go just by statistics all the time. There's more to the story. There's more
the
to
eye
everything
test.
that's there. Momentum is the biggest factor in the game of football. I don't think people understand that enough.
Mm-mm.
You can feel when momentum has shifted. You can feel when you're watching a game, you can be able to understand when another team is in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
It's really easy to see.
Mm-hmm.
If you've watched the game long enough,
You can tell by the
you
body language.
you can kind of predict an outcome of the game by the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
By about midway through the third quarter, you can already tell when a game is over, or if it's going to get good, or what's going to happen. If you can't tell by then you have no business
yeah.
coaching. You have no business in the game. If you
when
can't
you
even feel
see
that basic instinct, you have no business coaching.
when you see the hands on the hips and you start seeing the huffing and puffing, you know, fourth quarter, we got them.
It's a long, meticulous process, and it's not a hard one to read. Really, it isn't. To be able to understand body language, to be able to understand your own team's limits of what they can and cannot do, your own limits of what you can and cannot do as a coach. That self awareness, that team awareness, it's not there when the crucial times of ball games, important ball games, when it's to be decided, when this play means make or break. He has yet to show that he could succeed. He has done nothing but fail his entire coaching career in big game situations. Consistently. If that is the only thing if there is anything that he's been consistent of, it's failing in big time situations. Because he doesn't know how to read the goddamn game. He's so focused on proving people right about him being a genius that he tries to overthink shit. What can I do to make people go ooh and ah to add to the fucking resume? Again, I don't give a shit what people think about you. I don't care if they think you're a smart coach. Again, head coach ain't for everybody. You might be a cool OC, but you're not a good head coach right now because you don't know in key situations what you fucking need to do.
Game management has not been a strong suit since he has been a head coach.
The worst. The worst. The absolute worst. You know how I know he doesn't know how to read a game? He's giving up double digit fucking leads when we're averaging over 5 yards of fucking carry on the goddamn ground. That's how I know he doesn't know how to read a fucking game. That's how I know he knows shit about momentum. That's how you can figure out who's a good coach. When it comes down to the actual, hey, we have this much this situational, logical thinking football. This is back to basics shit. It is not that difficult to understand or to do. And yet, on a consistent basis, figures out a way to not just shoot himself in the foot, but find out how to shoot himself in the testicles as well.
Oh, you said the testes. Definitely the family jewels are not secured.
No, the line might be dead. There's no more coaching coming out of that line. They might have ended with Mike. Kyle tried. He took Daddy's offense and added a couple more plays. But it's the same concept. There's nothing really awe-inspiring about what the offense is. There's nothing about it that we haven't seen before, really, other than the addition of the RPO to the offense. That's the only thing that's like, oh, he's innovative because he used Debo as a running back? Really? Most of the time Debo's been in a running back is because we didn't really have another running back. We needed somebody else. And he's lucky he's built like a fucking Mack truck at the wide receiver position because he runs like a goddamn running back after the catch.
And we like Elijah Mitchell. Liked him a lot. Man just can't stay on the field.
We have a real good habit of getting injury-prone players. We have a real nice habit of signing players who are hurt or signing players and then they get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
That happens all the time for this team.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and then you got players, you've talked all this shit about how good you are, and then when it comes time to actually play, oh no, where'd you go?
Disappeared. Still looking for you. Still
You hear
looking
that?
for you. Still looking for you.
Just whisper in the wind.
I've been looking for Debo all year, but all I've been getting is Tyshawn Raekwon.
It's again, Niner fans, like y'all gotta understand what reality is. Because if there's anybody who thinks that this team at 5-7 right now, after a 35-10 ass whooping, there is no way you can convince me that the 49ers should continue on to try to go for the division. There's nobody on this planet who can convince me that that is going to be a good idea. Because even if we do find somehow, some way to get it into the goddamn playoffs, we're not making it far. We
No.
don't have the squad for it. Nobody, our first and second stringers are hurt. We're bringing up help from former Jets players. You know how desperate you have to be to pick up a former Jet? We're in that type of territory right now. We're in a type of situation where, you know what? It's okay to rely on our rookies. It's okay to rely on practice squad guys. Get everybody. We need all of our guys who are starters, who are banged up, to get all the rest that they fucking need. Debo, sit down. You're done. George, sit down. You're done. Brock, I don't give a fuck. Sit down. You're done. McCaffrey should have been done and just said, you know what, for the rest of the season, like take the whole season off instead of coming back. So now he's got to deal with another problem,
Mm-hmm.
After this weekend.
The Achilles tendonitis and now a PCL.
It,
we
it,
tried
it's
it. But we tried to tell y'all he should take the season off, but no. Nobody wanted to listen.
we were in no position to think that Christian McCaffrey was going to help us at anything. And to go down with a non-contact injury,
Like he got shot in the leg.
it's just, there's no point. There's no point. Save your guys. Heal them up. Let them know you care. Let them know you give a shit about them. that they're not just pawns in your evil scheme to do absolutely fucking nothing.
Like I said, I love Fred Warner. He has led by example all year long, but Fred
Sit
needs to
him
look out
down.
for himself. Sit him down.
Sit him
Fred, you got
down.
nothing. Fred, you got nothing else to prove this year. You've been a warrior. You've been a
Exactly.
warrior. You've
He's
been a
been
warrior.
playing on what was it, a fractured ankle?
Yeah.
Yeah, a fractured ankle this entire season so far. Sit your ass down, Fred. We already know you're the best. Chill.
Yeah.
Heal yourself up. Let's get ready to gear up and come back next season. There is no point for this team to try and move on. They need to just sit back, take these last few losses, go into this offseason knowing what you need. Wishful thinking is they take care of the right side of the line finally with a right tackle and a center. Whether it's
And
through free agency or the draft, I don't think they're going to do either because I know the team. But wishful thinking is that will be taken care of.
well, I do know this. I pay Dre Greenlaw right now.
Uh, and there's talks that some people are talking for Dre Greenlaw to come back this year. I'm like, no,
No.
no. Let him sit some more too. Let him fully recover as well. There's no reason to have any of the ones in right now. If you even
Well,
have any more.
he just proved his worth by him not being there at all this season. That's why I
see,
said. That's why I said pay him now.
you know what you got without him. You know you need him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to be that expensive. It's a linebacker position. It's not that expensive. It's not anything you got to worry about, like, oh, shit, what are we going to do? Are we going to break the bank? Like, no, you're good. Still got plenty of room to be able to. He's obviously not going to be getting paid more than Fred.
Mm-mm.
So you already got a baseline. You're good. You ain't got nothing to worry about. If he asks for more than Fred, then you can be like, okay, bro. Like, now you need to just, chill the fuck out. You just kind of came off an Achilles injury in which you didn't play a full year. So let's chill the fuck out with I'm getting paid more than Fred. That's what Brandon did, and look what happened.
Mm-hmm.
He missed training camp. He missed all the other work and extracurricular shit that he needed. All for what? So he can practice in his front yard, getting balls thrown through a tree.
Through a tire. Through a tree. Through the tire.
Hey, I'm
Trying to.
glad that off season, regiment really just, upped your game to an elite level. I'm so happy that after you practicing in your front yard, you really showed the people what you were really worth. That unbelievable. Like, this is the type of shit. The fact that they still come out to the boombox right now is laughable to me.
Why? Why?
You don't get to do that right now anymore. You
No.
put that shit away, come out, take your ass whoop, and go fucking home. Like, it's over and done with. No need to worry. And then the Broncos go beat the Browns 41-32.
No
And Browns,
defense.
none.
But Jameis proving his worth. Always in a giving mood towards the end.
Christmas came early.
And the Broncos get their 8th win of the year. But, ooh. Oklahoma State fires the offense coordinator. All right, but I will say this, though. Tomorrow we have a dandy of a Thursday night football game with the Lions and the Packers in Detroit. A whole lot of playoff implications, but more importantly for the Lions, trying to hold on to that home field advantage in the NFC. Of course, the Lions coming in with an 11-1 record, but the Packers a very impressive 9-3. Certainly might be one of the highest rated Thursday night games under the prime video banner.
This is probably going to be the best Thursday night game they've had since its inception.
Yes, since
Because
Prime Video.
they've had nothing but like crap matchups during Thursday night football
Yeah.
because we all know it's a throwaway and a money grab.
Yes, but this
But
one here.
But you're in the great city of Detroit and you want to catch the game, you can catch tickets for as low as $183 getting into Ford Field on prime time Thursday, only on Prime Video. So if you don't have a subscription, don't worry. I know a lot of people have stream boxes, so you got nothing to worry about anyway. So
Or more than likely, they'll air it on a local channel in the team's market area because that's just what they do.
Yeah.
But
That'd be nice.
right now,
It'd be a good Thursday night game.
But right now, if you're betting right now, it is on. If you're going money line, Packers are plus 150, Lions minus 175. Over under is 51.5. The spread is the Lions minus 3.5, giving that they are the home team. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is their second meeting of the season, which it is. Earlier, back on November the 3rd, last month, the Lions went into Lambeau Field in the rain and punched them in the mouth to the atonement of a 24-14 victory.
Hadouken!
So basically, if Sonic and Knuckles are getting off, that normally spells a long, long night for the defense as the Lions. As I've been saying all year, the Detroit Lions have the best offensive line in football. Definitely have the best running game in football. Jahmyr Gibbs could be starting on half the teams in this league at running back, but instead has a very good. Well, I'll tell you what, it gets no easier for the Lions because after the Packers, you got to go play at home against the 10-2 Bills, which possibly could be a Super Bowl 59 preview of the Bills and the Lions. So, I mean,
you think the Bills actually have a shot?
I do.
I think the Bills are going to do what the Bills always do.
Oh, choke in the end.
And then rip it all away.
And then Bills Mafia will be going through tables yet again.
The AFC 49ers, that is what it is. Or we have become the NFC Bills, whichever one you want to call it.
We would only be the NFC Bills if we actually went to 4 straight and lost.
Well,
we've lost our last 3.
The idea of anybody going to 4 straight, other than the fucking Chiefs and stuff like that, the idea of anybody going to 4 straight is almost unheard of and rare occasion.
Yeah.
So the fact that we went to 3, not made it, but we've gone to at least the NFC Championship game 3 years in a row. I'm counting it. So 0 wins. That's it. EJ, if you're still there, put me on solo. All right. You're still there. Okay. Now take me out solo. There he goes. Okay. See, this is how I know I can count on EJ. I know he's there. But yeah,
he is the prodigy.
He is the prodigy. He knows what he's doing. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we really appreciate you guys watching on the Jaffos TV network here on YouTube. Be sure to catch the replay on the Mike and Colby Sports Network on Roku and Fire TV. Be sure to also catch the Mizzle and Dub Show damn near every day at this point. It's almost everywhere I look. I feel bad because I want to be a part of it, but I got work the next morning and stuff. So it's like,
yeah, that damn thing called adulting sucks sometimes, doesn't
it? But be able to go catch them on the Mizzle and Dub Show YouTube network as well. Be able to catch basically everything that EJ is doing at the CUSN network on all social media handles and YouTube and everything as well. The Underground podcast, adding another segment with Coach D from the River City Tigers. So there's going to be a lot of excitement going to that podcast. You're not going to want to miss that. Once again, if you're watching on the Mike and Colby Sports Network and you want to be able to catch the live show, be able to go onto Jaffos TV on YouTube and sometimes even Twitch and Facebook. But regardless, catch the All Pro Jaffos on all social media handles to be able to catch clips or highlights or whatever it is that we've done during the show, or just to keep in touch of anything we got coming up. So we do heavily appreciate you guys for hanging out with us on this Wednesday night. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy tomorrow's games, and we'll see you guys back here on Friday. It's December now. It's birthday month. It's going to be very interesting. We will see what goes on this year. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dub Alvarez, EJ, the Prodigy Whistle, myself, JP. Don't forget DJ Mad Six and Mizzle, background himself. So we'll see you guys again on Friday. And don't forget, love y'all. Take care of each other. Highly elevated sports talk for the highly elevated sports fan. See you guys next time. Deuces.